Well, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got lots of people represented here. We've got an incredible day planned for you today. It's exciting. We just had our biggest enrollment day in Bright Life history 24 hours ago. More enrollments, more members than in any other 24-hour period in history. So 2025 is officially here and underway. The things that we've been talking about, the things that we've been manifesting, the work that you guys have been putting in, the work that the mentorship group has put in over the last 12 days of the 90-day path to $100,000 in residual income. The response, the behavior, the work, the commitment has been incredible. And we've had more rank ups this week than we've had in the last probably 12 weeks. And our biggest sales day in company history, biggest enrollment day in company history. And today we're going to officially announce all of the activities for our first ever annual convention. We got some incredible things planned for you. So we're going to talk about that at the end today. But I actually want to bring on somebody and let you guys hear directly from the source of somebody who is, making it happen inside their organization and getting results from their team and setting the pace. And it's really come from a combination of a lot of different activities and work going in. And this is really a culmination of the last 60 days worth of work, and so I'm going to make him the co-host. And we're going to bring him on and talk about it. But here is the thing that's really important for all of you to understand. And we've talked about this and we have discussed it. But what you have to understand about the way this business works is this business is non-linear, okay? And unfortunately, as society, we've trained ourselves that work and compensation or reward comes from a linear activity. And so you work and you get paid. You work and you get rewarded. We teach our kids this, right? With chores and allowance and rewards and incentive. And see, the thing is that this is a linear way of thinking. Okay. And so you stay in a straight line and you're used to doing something and then getting rewarded or getting incentivized. And so the problem is that in this business is not linear. And see, I would encourage you and challenge you that if you are a good salesperson and you're a great recruiter, this business honestly may not be the best business for you if all you're going to do is just recruit, recruit, recruit. Because honestly, if you're excited about travel and you love travel and you're just going to think linearly, like if I do this, then I get this, honestly, you should go sell timeshares. You should go sell cars. You should go sell insurance. Because if you're just going to recruit, if you're just going to sell, and you're not going to focus on the other aspects of this business that are required in order to get duplication and get success. And that's when the business goes from linear to multifaceted to multiplication, duplication. And so see, the power of network marketing is that you get rewarded and paid based on duplication, multiplication, and not linear addition. See, linear, the way that we're trained and the way that society teaches us, it actually comes from hundreds of years ago, the agrarian, okay, system, the feudal system. You go back in history, That is where our education system came from. That and it's never changed. And so if you look at the history of our education system, the feudal system, the agrarian system was apprenticeship and memorization and regurgitation. So you do something and you get something. And so back then, when the apprenticeship system, which was part of the feudal system, you had somebody who would learn a trade, learn a task. And that was back when there wasn't necessarily a total monetary system. So you would learn how to be a blacksmith. You would learn how to be a carpenter. You would learn how to be, a farmer. And so you would learn these tasks, you would learn these chores, you would memorize and regurgitate what it was, and then you could produce something. And in turn for what you produced, you would be able to trade that good or that service to be able to provide for your family. And so, my biggest problem with our education system today is that our children are still learning a system of memorization and regurgitation. And you're right, Keith. You're exactly right. Keith said your name was what your trade was. It's the same for me. So, my last name is Melcher. It's a German origin name that the translation where it originally came from and letters were changed over time was Milker. And so it was Milker because my family were dairy farmers originally in Germany and then came to the US. My grandfather was first generation farmer, and my grandfather, they were so poor that they were sharecroppers in Texas here where they finally settled. And so they picked cotton and they sharecropped, and that was how they survived. So my granddad had to stop going to school in the third grade so that he could pick cotton so that he could help provide. And so the problem is that our brains are wired to this system and process for hundreds of years. So what happens is when people get into this business and they do something, they invite, they expose, their brain is telling them, hey, why didn't you get paid? Why didn't you get something? Why didn't you get a rank, a reward, a paycheck? Because that's the way, literally. I mean, it's been this way for hundreds of years. So now it's ingrained. And so this last 12 days with the mentorship group has been a rewiring. I've had to rewire the way people think about this business because this business is not linear. If you just want to recruit, if you just want to sell, if you're a badass salesperson, this is not the business for you. If you don't want to work with your people, if you don't want to follow the program, if you don't want to duplicate, if you don't want to get in the trenches, if you don't want to do live events, if you don't want to put events together, if you don't want to show up and present when only a couple people show up and that's all that's there, and you don't want to do that week in and week out, this is not the business for you. Because this business is not linear. You don't get the true benefits of this business until you get to a point where you get your people thinking in a way that is non-linear. And so one of the things you need to think about is this the right business for you? Because you have to be willing to do these things, to go through the aspects of the business that create this momentum. And the problem is that most people can't take the rejection and can't do it for a long enough period to where the results start to show up. And then when it does, your brain is like, oh, wait, I can do this. Like, we've been doing this and now we're seeing results. Now we're getting ranked. Now we're getting recognized. Now we're going on trips. Now we're seeing the fruits of our labor. And so this gentleman that I'm going to bring up has been putting in the work. And, we had a call with several of the top leaders. And I told them before Christmas, after my father's funeral, I said, I'm going back to work. Okay. I've had this family, situation that I've been dealing with and processing, but I'm going back to work and I want to know I'm looking to create millionaires this year. There will be millionaires created in Bright Life this year in 2025. So I want to know who it's going to be. And so this gentleman stepped up and said on that call right after I said it, yo, I'm your guy. I'm here. I'm ready. And I said, sweet. I go, what day this week do you want me to come? And he goes, Christmas is Tuesday. And I go, I don't care because the work that we're putting in right now is going to pay us 60 to 90 days from now. So if we don't do it this week, then if we wait and start after Christmas, New Year's, January, then we're not going to get any results for 60 to 90 days after that. So then it's going to be, February, March, April, maybe before we get this duplication effect, we get this momentum. And so he goes, okay, well, we'll come here on Friday. And so I literally booked my ticket within 24 hours and I was there and we were working and doing meetings on the Friday before Christmas when everybody else was shopping and they were at Costco and Best Buy and at the mall. And he and I were driving around all over Atlanta doing meetings and meeting with people and strategizing and game planning. And he was putting me on the phone with people. And now those people that we went and met with are now duplicating and hitting rank. And in fact, several of the people that we met with that day ranked up this week. And that was just 30 days ago. So you're already starting to see the work paying off, and it's starting to happen even faster because this guy knows the systems and he's been doing it for a long time and he's good at it. And so he's collapsed time. You've heard me talk about collapsing time. And so the faster you can get the exposures, the quicker you can get the no's, the faster you're going to get to yeses. So for him, it didn't take 60 to 90 days. It took 30 because we did the meetings the week before Christmas, 4 days, 5 days before Christmas. And now a month later, the results are pouring in. He's got the fastest growing team in the company. He had a dozen people hit rank this week. And that's why he hit rank this week. And he's very close to hitting it again. And you're going to start to see more teams that are doing this, that are following this lead, that are doing the live events, that are putting in the time. And I want you to hear what's working from him, from his mouth, so that you can go apply exactly what he's doing because it's already starting to happen. And so, Denson, I'm going to bring you on. This guy is a legend. He has been doing this longer than I have, actually. Not to date him or age him, but it is it's an honor to get a chance to work with you. You are a consummate professional, and you are the ultimate leader because you walk the walk, you walk the talk, you do the work, you put in the time, you put in the effort. And so I just want to talk to you a little bit in front of everybody and not just recognize you for hitting Lifer 1600 this week, but very close already to Lifer 3000 now. And just let's talk a little bit about what's happening, what you're doing, what's working, because we strategized a lot of this stuff last month in Atlanta, but now it's happening. So can you kind of fill everybody in on what's going on and what's working and why you've had so many people hit rank this week?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Wes, first off, I want to thank you because as long as we've been involved in network marketing, we probably have forgotten more about how to build a business than most people will ever learn, right? I mean, it's
Very
just
true.
yeah, and especially with the age of the internet, it's a lot that we can do online, but what I respect so much about working with Wes is that, he's not going to teach you guys like we get on here every Saturday with Wes. One thing I love about him, because what a lot of leaders will do is they'll tell you go get them. They'll teach you something and say, okay, you go out there and make your list. You go out there and do the meetings. But one thing about this guy is that he does it. He doesn't just talk about it. And when he came to Atlanta, because I'm like, Wes, you got your daughter, and it's Christmas time, and man, look, I understand you probably need to go shopping. And he was like, no, no, man, I'm there. So I kind of felt bad about him coming because I'm not the kind of guy where I need somebody to, come support me or whatever. But what he probably doesn't realize that he did for me is, when we got together that day, the meeting was great, but I think the bigger thing that happened is it made me just kind of, look at myself and say, okay, let's go. If this guy's willing to do this the day before Christmas, then it's time. I mean, we're done jacking around because I think about something in companies like this. It's always the case. In fact, Wes, do you mind if I share my screen real quick? I want to show
Go ahead.
everybody
Yeah, yeah,
something.
go ahead.
All right, this will only take a minute, but and it happens this way. I think almost every time. Okay, in companies like this, but some of you all have already seen this. But if you haven't, then you really need to internalize this because any successful company goes through four different phases of growth. Okay, and I'm gonna just kind of tell you our story, my wife and myself, as far as how we got exposed to this. Okay. Formulation is that period of time where the company is getting everything put together. So we're in formulation right now. And, we always want to catch something. You probably heard the term on the ground floor. Man, I wish I had known about it before, whatever. Well, some of you all were here like day one when West started. Some of you all were here in pre-launch even. And a lot of people, I'm sure that were here in pre-launch because everything wasn't perfect day one. Everything's not perfect right now. Some of those folks have left, okay? But once a company comes out of formulation, then it goes into concentration. And this is when it starts to attract leaders. And in our case, it'll be leaders from all over the world. Well, that will cause a company to go vertical, which is momentum. And then, of course, it goes into stability. Well, the reason that I'm sold out to this company is because I believe that it is a legacy build. Okay. I believe Wes means it when he says that he wants this to be around for our future generations. But our first company was a company called Excel Telecommunications. It was based right there out of Dallas, as a matter of fact. I was telling Wes we used to have to come to Dallas all the time, but they started in 1988 to take advantage of the deregulation process of long distance. Now, as you think about what we were working, what our product was, it was saving people a little bit of money on their long distance service, which is not a big deal, not very exciting, I'll say, not like what we have. Okay. And that company only did business here in the US markets. Well, top money earner there was one of my mentors. His name was Paul, and he was an overall top money earner. But look, this guy got involved when the company had Wes about 20,000 distributors. So what does that mean? That means that when the company started with whatever group they started with, a lot of those folks didn't get it. Why? Because it wasn't perfect day one. Okay. So
Right.
Paul was even way after where we are right now. And my wife and I got involved probably about 9 years after Paul. And by that time, the company had over 1 million people involved. And both of us were top money earners. We were both recognized as being top money earners of our eras, but it was a big difference in what top money earner was because Paul was positioned before it hit that momentum curve. We were positioned on the back end. And this is what top money earners meant. Okay. Paul, 1.2 million a month. He ran over 16 million a year for a couple of, 2 or 3 years, maybe even longer than that. My wife and I, 120,000 some months. In fact, this is documentation because one thing you'll learn about me is that I am not a liar. I'm never going to embellish anything or tell you anything that's not true. But this is me and my wife here, and I'm gonna show you how powerful these companies can be. We were the third top money earners there, so this guy, when they were putting the concept of everything together, he was literally in Dallas, Texas, selling chili peppers on the side of the highway, drawing out the comp plan. Okay. He ended up being worth over 700 million. This guy here, Kenny Trout, he was dead broke. He told me he went from flying coach to private. He ended up becoming a multi-billionaire. Wes knows Kenny because he's right there in Dallas, and being in the horse business, they know each other. And then this guy here was an everyday person. It
Yeah,
might be
just and
like somebody that is,
just for the record, Kenny
uh-huh.
Trout has had two Triple Crown winners. He was involved, they stand American Pharaoh, and they owned
Wow.
Justify, who now is the most coveted stallion in the world. They charge $500,000 to breed to Justify, and he has the most expensive horse facility in the entire United States. It's worth probably $500 million, 300 to 400 million dollar facility in Kentucky. And so this isn't just, a little bit of money. This is like Warren Buffett type money. So
And Wes, let's think about it. What made that possible? Network marketing, right?
that's right.
Absolutely.
Every
That and
penny of it. Every
so
penny of it.
absolutely. And then look, this guy here was a school teacher, everyday person, just like many of us on this webinar right now. He was a coach as well, but he was making $30,000 a year when he got involved in that company. In fact, I remember Paul telling me that they went out and got a lot of customers, he and another guy, and they weren't even able to get the customers confirmed back then. So they went out and they knocked a lot of doors and got a lot of customers, weren't able to bring them online. And he said that other guy, quit. And he said the difference is he's still broke and I ain't. That's the way that he talked. And guys, you have to understand what was that? That was that company being in formulation. Everything was not perfect, right? And then my wife and I come along like years later, 9 years later, and this is us being recognized. And these, couple of our mentors, but we were the third top money earners there. And I tell you, what we saw happen in a short period of time, even being on the back end of formulation, is that we were exposed to things like we found ourselves flying around the country on private jets and helicopters, getting out in the limos, and it was crazy. And then our next company, we went with the top money earner there. We were the first people to go through 50,000 a month with that company, and then this is when we learned about travel. Okay, with this company, we got a $50,000 bonus there. Now, what's my point in showing you all this, guys? The thing that you have to understand is this. Okay, where do we fit in all this? Well, Wes, you tell me if you agree with this. I believe we're here with Bright Life right now. What
Right.
would you say, Wes?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it that it's very, very early on that chart. I mean, we've been in business 7 months. So,
Yeah, so we're not even where Paul was when he got in Excel, okay? And you have to understand something. We got less than 1,000 members. Travel is the largest industry in the world, and since the pandemic, you have to understand it's something right now called revenge travel. Okay, people are determined that hey, you took this away from me, so I'm going to do more of it now. And simple qualification in this comp plan, and it's very, very powerful. Now, I share that with you guys to tell you this, okay? We're so early in the game that even though everything is perfect, Wes will be the first to tell you everything is not perfect. It's gonna be. In fact, Wes, you tell everybody what you told us as far as how we won't even recognize this company in within a couple of years, as far as what we have now.
yeah, because when you look at where we are in terms of our technology roadmap, right? We are building something that has never been built before. Everything we have is proprietary to us. And so no one in the history of the direct sales industry that has a travel-based product has ever, and this includes World Ventures, and we did 4 billion in revenue in the 13 years that I was there. We never had our own tech. We tried and failed miserably. And so the fact that we're building something that we own, that we control, we're not just trying to be a big MLM. There is a very real roadmap, and we've talked about it. And I just had an offsite meeting with our tech team and some of our internal team this week talking about 25, 26, and beyond. And so we're talking about things that in a decade could dwarf Herbalife and Amway. I mean, there is a path to where we could be a $100 billion company in a decade because of scalability of software, because the companies that we're talking to now, that when they see our model, these companies are already doing millions or hundreds of millions in revenue. And they're like, how are y'all doing all of this? How do you have all of this already? I mean, a startup company that's 7 months old doesn't have what you guys have. The tech footprint, the app, the services. I mean, you guys realize none of the other competitors in the direct sales space even have an app. They don't even have an app. And so when people are seeing what we're doing, they're like, how can we get involved? Because we know, we see it. Like when I'm on the phone with these CEOs, and Eva has put me on the phone with so many different vendors and suppliers, they're like, we know that where you are right now is not where you're going to be a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now. So when we look at what Bright Life is, even a year from now, that you're going to log in and you're going to be like, man, you remember back when we just got the Well Live videos and we just had, hotels in the booking platform, and we could only use travel dollars on the bookings in the app. And a year from now, it's like you can use the travel dollars on everything. You can use the travel dollars to buy movie tickets, or concert tickets, or go to the Kentucky Derby, or to go to the World Cup, because the World Cup's coming to the US in 26. So you're going to be able to use your travel dollars to buy your tickets to go see the World Cup. These things are real, and they're coming, and they're going to be here, and you're going to be able to look back a year from now and go, remember when we had to do reimbursement for travel dollars, and they had to put them on our PayQuicker card, and now we can just click a button and pay for everything inside of the app with travel dollars? Do you remember what that was like? And we'll all be sitting around laughing about this day. But those of you that are choosing to go out and actually make it happen, like Denson, you're the one that's going to be sitting back laughing. You're going to get the last laugh, because at that point, you're going to be making $100,000 a month in residual, or $250,000 a month in residual, and you're going to be laughing about these days.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Wes, and I look at, like, I'll talk to people, and sometimes people will say, oh man, like, let's take the travel dollars for instance. Oh man, we have to get reimbursed on the travel dollars, kind of complaining about it. Well, this is what you all have to understand, okay? Corporate's job is the product. Our job is marketing. Okay. I want you to really pay close attention to this. That's their job. And we know that we've got a corporate team in place where already the value in the app far exceeds what people would have to pay for it. This is a travel savings account where if a person invests $2,100 over a year, they're going to get a $3,000 to $5,000 bucket list trip. If that's all that it was, that's pretty much better than what World Ventures had back then, right? So,
Right.
if that's all that it was, but we also have a technology that pulls 100% of the retail out. We have, all of these other benefits. So this is what I decided, Wes, is what I'm going to focus on, because this is what attracted me here, is this. Wes's heart with the comp plan is why I'm here. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because as a leader in network marketing, my job is to develop other leaders, set people financially free. Well, I've got a huge goal with this comp plan. My goal with this comp plan, Wes, so because I've never talked to you about this, is I believe we can build the highest paid group of network marketers in the world with this comp plan. Okay. No question. So my message to people is this: it only takes 2 referrals for you to qualify. So 2 referrals qualifies you for this entire comp plan up to 500,000 a month. And it's never been done before. That's what you all have to understand. See, some of you all are only caught up in the travel, and you're like, oh man, this is not this or this is not that. What you don't understand is that this has never been done before, and it will never be done again. Why? Because no company owner has ever had the heart to make this kind of a thing available to everyday people. Now, some of y'all are going to take this and believe it and take it seriously. Some of y'all are going to be like, oh man, when we get so and so, you just wait. You wait until he does that. And look, I'm not waiting, because what I understand, I'm going to show you one other thing here. What I understand about all of this is that when we're going to make it cool to make money, because guess what? This is what I was taught about momentum. Whatever your income is here, when that company hits that momentum curve, even if you're retired, even if you're gone and living your life and you're traveling, you can expect your income to grow tenfold by the end of momentum. So you know what? My goal here is 50,000 a month. Let's say by the time we hit that momentum curve, we got people at 50,000 a month. Well, if you built your business right, guess what? You could be at 500 grand a month by the end of that momentum curve. Very, very powerful situation. So to
with no
qualifies,
extra work, because
no,
remember the work that you're putting in now, this is where it goes literally into this multiplication effect instead of
Mhm.
linear, because you build to that point. And that's exactly what happened at World Ventures when we got to momentum. And we were hovering around 70 to 90 million a year from 2008, 9, 10 through the recession. We were one of the only companies that didn't go backwards. We grew just a smidge, 75 to 80 million, 85 million. But then when we came out with our reward points program and a couple of other things happened, then we went from 80 million to 300 million and then to 500 million and then to 960 million in 3 years. And
Wow.
everybody that was involved and that was engaged at that point, their income was literally 10x, some was 20x, some was 50x from the same amount of work. Because when the momentum hits and you have everybody in place and your team is built, then it happens with or without you. You could literally disappear and no one would need to know your name, and you're still going to 20x your income. You're going to 50x your income because of the trajectory of the entire business.
Wow. That is very powerful. So, guys, look, and one other thing I want to say, Wes, and I'm done, okay? We do have the best travel product out there. But if you run into another person with a travel program, guess what? They've been taught that their program is the best. Okay. So it's nothing that you're going to do to change their minds. I mean, they feel like theirs is the best, ours is the best. Every network marketing company has the best products to their reps as far as their reps are concerned. But you know what they can't compete with? Okay. Even though ours is the best, they cannot compete ever with the fact that it only takes two to qualify and it pays up to 500,000 a month. And what I've started telling people is this, hey, and guess what? The product is wholesale and free travel. And it's like, what? It's I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. But don't get into these fights with people about, you get to use your influence to get them to look, I guess is my point. And if you'll do that, and Wes, that's what I love so much about the program that you've initiated with that group. You know that if they follow the program, they're gonna be life for 7,500, right? You know that, no question.
That's right.
Well, guys, that has never been done before. I've never seen a company owner say, look, go through the motions. You'll either be at a six-figure income, I'll cut you a check for 5 grand. Never been done before. So, you just have to use your common sense sometimes and say, okay, this is, this makes sense. This makes sense. And look, in fact, I listened to a video, and some of y'all think that building a business like this is impossible. Well, you have to understand impossible broken down is what? I am possible. And you can do this. You just have to make a decision to do it. And your first step, if you don't have your two, is go on and make that decision to get your two and say, okay, I'm going to start at that point. I'm going to celebrate that win and I'm going to continue to move forward. So, Wes, that's pretty much, unless you have any other
Yeah, I
questions
want
for
to
me.
on that point. So what I'm
Okay.
going to keep you on because I want to talk about a couple things, but I do want to make a surprise announcement on that note. So we were notified yesterday that the final testing of the new two and free and removing the lifer 200 went as planned. So we are now into a live test environment for that this week. And so the anticipated launch of the new two and free and the removal of the lifer 200 rank to where everyone in the company will have the ability to have two and free, along with the brand new interface on the app, which will be right above the bucket list countdown, where you will see your status, you're going to see your billing date, and you're going to see two boxes there that's going to tell you, am I free? And we're calling it free life. Okay, so it'll be free life, and that will go live with the expected complete release next when Friday's commission run ends. So you're
Wow.
being officially noticed today that, assuming that when it goes to the live test environment, we will run a lot of further testing and checks just to make sure, because this affects the comp plan and the way actives counts are calculated, and it's removing a piece of the qualification. All of the boxes have to be changed. And so that's all being done this week. And so the anticipated go live for that is when commissions close out on Friday. So this is officially the 1 week notice. If there's any delays or if there's any issues, we'll notify you. But this release is imminent. The team's been working for 6 weeks since we told you about it. It is go time. So that's exciting for
Wow.
everybody. You're going to love the interface. And so this new focus on getting everybody to free billing, we've been talking about it in the Zooms. I'm recording 2 new presentations, the short one and the full one. So a product only with all the new slides that we launched this week, and one with product and business. Those will be done today. And so those will be up, and we'll announce those officially on the corporate call tomorrow night. But I just wanted to make that announcement here while you're all here. This will go in the news section as well. But that's been a big lift for us, because it's changed a lot of things internally in qualifications and how it's displayed. We've changed the comp plan document. We're redoing the 1 page comp plan document. You'll see all of that stuff go live this week. And the new presentation will have no more Lifer 200. So all of that will be in these new presentations that are released tomorrow, with the anticipation that Lifer 200 will officially go away at Friday night's closeout. But I do have a couple of questions for you, Denson, because I want people to know what caused. I know over the last 30 days, you've been working a lot with your team, you and Tim and Angie and Paula and all the people that have been working with your group. But I'd like for you to tell people what you think caused the massive growth over the last week. What kinds of activities or events or things happened where all of these sales came in? Because it wasn't the Zooms. So I'd like for you to tell people what's working in these markets where you've had, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people hit rank in the last 72 hours or so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Wes, I just want to say you've actually made a lot of major announcements, but I believe this one, the one that you just made, is for, let's say, for a comp plan guy. This is the biggest announcement, guys, that this company, in my opinion, will ever see. And the reason is because the simple duplication of 2 through 9 levels is 7,500 a month. Through 12 levels is 50,000 a month, and through 15 to 16 levels it maxes out the comp plan. And the fact that on that app a person's going to be able to see that, man, I've got 2 actives and I'm free or whatever, that's a big deal. Okay, so now to answer your question, the thing that really made the difference for me is when, and you all really hear this closely, okay? When Wes took the initiative, kind of as an upline more so than an owner, to come to Atlanta, just that time that we spent together kind of talking about, because I was in and we had had some success, but I really hadn't engaged. Okay. Well, guys, that is what being a leader is all about. No matter, when it is, it showed me what, I guess, the priority to Wes, the fact that it was right before Christmas and he's got a young child at home. Okay. So, and I've done that before. Okay. I mean, it's very important. So what it did for me is I've made the decision. I said, okay, we're talking about the simple duplication of 2. We're going to get this done. So what I decided to do was, I had a few new people in Memphis. And one thing, when we started when you started the mentorship program, you said to focus on your top 10 board of directors. So that was one thing that I decided to do. I said, okay, my top 10 board of directors would be this person, this person, this person, this person. And I haven't even really gotten to my top 10 yet. I've gotten to about 3 of those people on the top 10. So what we decided to do is this. Of course, we do webinars. We got 5 with the company. We do another 4, a week. So we do a lot of webinars. I don't care where I am. I'm going to stop do that webinar just like you. But what I decided to do is I said, okay, I'm going to go get face to face. You remember me telling you this?
Yep.
I'm going to go get face to face with the people on my board of directors. And if they, if they don't see this, I'll be very surprised. Okay. So that was what I decided to do. And then we took the leaders that we started in Memphis. That would be, Ann and George and, and Linda and a few others there. And we got in their house. And, they did a great job. I mean, they prepared food for everybody, and they had a group over to their home. Guys, I'm gonna tell you something. The home meeting, because we have built six-figure incomes. I've seen we built six-figure monthly incomes in and out of homes. So some of y'all might say, okay, a meeting, I don't know about renting a hotel room or whatever. No, you shouldn't rent a hotel room, because that's the last thing that somebody wants to do is come to a hotel to see a meeting. Start in your home. If you can, get a restaurant or a bar or whatever where a person, and I don't mean getting drunk in a bar, but if you do something like a happy hour, people will show up. And Wes and I were talking about this. Lunch meetings are very powerful, because you can bribe a person by buying their lunch, and they'll show up for lunch and see something
Right.
that can change their lives. So that's kind of what we did. Was just I just decided that, hey, I'm going to get face to face. I want people to be able to look me in my eyes and see how passionate and excited I am about this, and that that will translate with other people. So that's the whole thing in a nutshell. And look, Memphis, anybody that's on this webinar in Memphis, guess what? Wes has done it again. He's like, I was planning on coming back to Memphis in a couple of weeks. He was like, no, next week. I want to do it before the Super Bowl. So I didn't check with you guys first. I said, okay, let's do it. Because what I understand is that cream rises to the top. Some people get it. There are some folks, I won't call any names, but there are people I know that's going to be down for it. I don't care if you were going to be there tomorrow, they'd have people in the room just because of who they are. Okay. So,
Right.
and how serious they are. So, that's kind of what we did, Wes. It's nothing special. I mean, we just decided to make it happen. And when you make that decision, it works.
And something that you said right at the very end, I remember, my mentor, Mike Asquay, when I got into network marketing, if Mike was doing a meeting and I had anybody within 2 hours of where he was going to be, I was going to be there. I was going to drive there. I would drag people. I'd put them in my car. I would make sure, because it was the owner of the company. It was the guy who was the number one, rep. He was my mentor. So out of respect and appreciation, there was no way I was going to let anyone give me any kind of an excuse. I didn't care what their excuse was. I'm like, cancel it, move it. Oh, I have a meeting. Oh, I have this. Oh, I have that. People let people give all these excuses or reasons why they don't come to a meeting. They let people off. But as soon as you let people off, whatever that thing was that you let them off for is always going to be more important than whatever it was you were ever going to show them. So you're never going to make them feel like it's worth more than X. So if you let them off for a PTA meeting, if you let them off for a soccer practice, if you let them off for, oh, I got this thing, oh, my wife told me this, oh, I got that. No, I'm like, bro, my mentor is coming. I don't care if it's an hour drive. I'll pick you up. I'll drive there first. We'll ride together. Like, you don't understand. This is life or death. This is critical. This is more important than anything else that you could have going on. And I believed that because that's the way I felt. And so that came through when I was inviting people. And I think so many times when people are inviting to a Zoom or a meeting or a training or whatever, they're like, oh, okay, it's okay. No worries. You can come to the next one. Like, we have no urgency. It's like, tomorrow will be another day. And they know, see, there'll be another Zoom tomorrow. There'll be another meeting one day. But what if we don't get tomorrow? What if they don't make it to tomorrow? What if you quit before the next one? What if you get more rejection or negativity? And so quit thinking about the next one and focus and understand that this should be treated as the last opportunity ever for them to be able to see the business. And so I think that's the thing, that your mentality is coming across. I've heard you on the phone. It's like, move it, cancel it. Wes is coming to town. Like, He's only in town tonight. Like, figure it out, get out of it, be
Mhm.
there, because when you have that type of urgency, then people are like, oh, this is, whoa, okay. Oh, all right. I didn't, okay. It's that big of a deal.
And you know what, Wes? It is that serious. That's what people don't understand. It is that serious. Like what you're doing with the group right now, 7,500. Let's just say 7,500 a month.
Yeah.
Residual income of 90,000 a year. How would I put a value on that? I say, okay, 90,000 a year. How much money would I need in a bank? What are the interest rates right now, Wes, on a
I
banking
mean, if
account?
you're lucky at a bank to get 2% or 1 or 2% because it's more than it's been because of prime being so high. So, I mean,
Let's say 1%.
2%.
That's easy to figure, right? So how do you put a value on it? You take 90,000 and divide it by 1%. You know how much money I'd have in the bank to make 7,500 a month? 9 million. It is that serious. That's called being a virtual millionaire. It's not about the money, right? It's about the interest on the money. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it is that
No,
serious.
it's true. I mean, and the thing is, you mentioned the mentorship group. You've had a lot of people that have been on those calls, and you've had people that have hit two and free this week that hadn't before, had not put sales in before, and they've been on the mentorship group and they've put in sales this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my guys. I remember Daryl when he first got in. He just got in and he was faithful, right? Daryl Faulkner, and
That's right.
he didn't do much. But I told him, I said, look, go on and lock in, and this thing's gonna happen. Well, by default, okay, what we're doing in Memphis just fell below him. And then he gets on the mentorship group with you, and now the guy is unstoppable, man. He is, no question, he will be life for 7,500 in this deal.
Daryl's signed up multiple people this week. He's lost 10 pounds on Corey's videos through the app. So he's lost 10 pounds and he's signed up multiple people and he's following the program, and
There we go.
you need to get on. And if you haven't watched the videos, every one of them has been recorded. You could start as soon as we wrap this call, go back to day one. They're on my YouTube channel. If you just put in youtube.com/Wes Melcher, you can go through day 1 to 12 and you can catch up and be part of the group and be in it. It doesn't matter about the $5,000 guarantee. It's happening for people. And I haven't pulled any punches. I mean, the group has had to take it on the chin because I've told them this is where your business is broken. This is where you need to fix it. This is where you need to improve. This isn't a, purple participate. I put my money on the line. I'm going to make sure you do the right things and look at your business and figure out what's right and what's wrong.
Hmm.
So that's what this is. This is real mentorship. As if I signed you up personally, I want you to be successful. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear in order to get to 100,000 a month. You don't get to 100,000 or 100,000 a year and then eventually 100,000 a month, but you don't get to 100,000 a year with a bunch of, well, you sure tried. You did good. You exposed some people. You didn't get any sales, but get the attaboy or the attagirl award. That's not what this is. This is in the trenches working. I'm doing it too. I had more guests than anybody else at the meeting on Thursday night, the happy hour that we did in DFW. And I've done the calls every night. And this week I did every Zoom. So I did the Zooms. I did more inviting. I signed up more personals. I had more guests at the meeting. Come on. If I'm going to do it and I can say it, all the rest of you can do the same things too. So it's just a matter, like Denson said, of getting into the trenches, doing the work, making the commitment, deciding, right? Where that word came from, decide. The origin of that word is to cut off. It's to cut off the excuses. It's to cut off the negativity. It's to cut off the naysayers. It's to cut off the non-believers. It's to remove the obstacles. It's to cut off. It's to decide. To decide, that word means to separate. Because in order to have success, you have to remove all of the things that are keeping you from having success. So that decision it's burn the boats. It's burn the boats because there's no going back. There's no quitting. There's no canceling. It's get it done and do the work until it happens. And
Yeah,
Denson's the
failure
prime
is not an
example.
option.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, and the billionaire used to say this all the time, Wes, Kenny Trout. He would always say that you can make excuses or you can make money, but you cannot make both. And I believe that
Facts.
100%. Absolutely. And it's always a good excuse for every situation. You can come up with an excuse. So I just appreciate your lead because, again, you're not a leader that is going to tell anybody to do anything that you're not willing to do. And, guys, Wes has to this point outworked everybody, but you should have in your mind right now, well, I'm going to challenge him on that one. And I'm going to try to outwork Wes. That's what I would tell you guys. That's what I'm trying to do is, outwork Wes. But I don't know how that's going to work out. I know one thing: we'll become very wealthy by doing so. You might not outwork him, but you will become wealthy.
That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. And I'm here for you guys. If you want help, if you want mentorship, go to neteasymarketing.com. Go to my YouTube channel, watch the previous videos. The next call is tomorrow night because this counts as our daily call for the mentorship group, this training. So the next one is tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we have our very important corporate call that we do not record because we do not want people sandbagging. We want you there for the energy around the campfire to be on that corporate call at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be doing the Zoom with the new presentation. The new presentation's recorded, will be live tomorrow. And then we'll have our mentorship call tomorrow night at 8:30, immediately following the Zoom. So and I'm going to be missing part of the football game to do all of these things tomorrow night. So I'm not happy about that, but this is what you do when you make these decisions. So I'm ready now to make this massive announcement. Thank you, Denson, for being on this morning and giving us all of this information. I appreciate you. But we've got some really important announcements. I have a video that I want to share with you to highlight what will be. And here's something that you should all be very proud of, okay? Is that our events, and I don't care what company you're with and who you've been a part of or whatever, but just our events already. The Conrad in Tulum, the Good Times Hotel on South Beach that was designed by Pharrell, and the Country Bay Music Festival, and then the Atlantis Resort, which is the best place on earth, in my opinion. And everybody that was there that I talked to was like, this was the best trip I've ever been on in my entire life. I mean, that's been in our first 6 months that we did all that stuff. And now we're going to have the sickest Memorial Day weekend party, entertainment, education, personal development, recognition. We're going to be recognizing people on stage. You're going to be hearing from the top reps. This is going to be the biggest event we've ever had in company history. And so that is going to be the Mecca, the origin, in my opinion, of what is going to put us into that next phase of out of concentration and into formulation. So when we talk about the 4 phases, formulation, concentration, momentum, and stability, I'm cueing my video here. This is what you have to look forward to. I'm gonna play. I like it so much. I'm gonna play it one more time. I just like it. I love seeing our logo there. I'm gonna play it for you one more time. So my biggest problem with all these other network marketing companies is that my biggest problem with all these other network marketing companies out there is none of them are cool. None of them are cool. I never understood why in the 13 years that I built World Ventures that we did conventions and conferences and trainings in Kansas City, Newark, Glendale, um, Oklahoma City, uh, Minneapolis, um, Birmingham. No offense to the Memphis people and my Southerners, okay? But I never understood it. And then I never understood why when all these MLMs and all these companies do their conferences, that they put you into a cold, dark room for 3 days and you listen to people say the same stuff every day, just a different spin, the same people getting up on stage, boosting their ego, telling their story, bragging about themselves, coming out to smoke and fire and coming in a helicopter and feeding the egos and making it all about me, I. When people spent money on flights, they spent money on hotels, they came to a city that they probably never wanted to go to. It wasn't on their bucket list. Nobody has Newark on their bucket list. Nobody has Kansas City on their bucket list. Nobody has Birmingham on their bucket list. Nobody has Glendale on their bucket list. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I would stand up in meetings, in owner meetings at World Ventures, and I'm like, what are we doing? We're a travel company. Why are we doing these trainings and these events? Well, this is how it's done. This is what everybody does. Everybody goes to these conventions and these meetings, and it's 3 days of meetings, and it's the same talks, the same messages, the same content for 3 days. So you take people away from their family, you take people away from their kids, you do it in a cold, dark room in Kansas City or Newark. They have to buy flights, they have to buy hotels, they have to pay for a ticket to the conference, they have to pay for a ticket to the event. So they're spending $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, $2,000, and they're away from their family. And they're in Newark in a cold, dark room. Nobody is doing it like we're doing it. All right. No one. Already in the first 6 months, our events have kicked everyone else's ass for the first 6 months, and we just got started. Now we're going to Vegas, one of my favorite cities on the planet. I lived there. I loved it so much I moved there after we started building World Ventures. And we're doing the event Memorial Day weekend. What easier way to recruit your friends and family than to come to Vegas Memorial Day weekend? And by the way, this is the biggest weekend of the summer in Vegas for the entire year. This is the weekend when everybody wants to be there. This is the weekend when all of the pools have massive parties, the biggest weekend of the summer. Okay. Gianna, are you burning something? Okay, please come check. My daughter's trying to burn the house down. So that would be bad. So we're doing it that weekend. So when you look at what the schedule is and what the calendar is, this is literally the easiest layup, sale, trip, event to promote as you're signing up new people and as you're getting them involved and as you're, recruiting to go, do you want to come to Vegas Memorial Day weekend? Who doesn't want to go to Vegas Memorial Day weekend? And here's the thing, use this to recruit. You should all be posting that you're going to Vegas Memorial Day weekend and promote it now and get friends and family and your connections to come to Vegas and then recruit them. You can use this weekend, our events, okay, our pool party and our atomic golf party. You do not have to be a member to go. So you can use these events to recruit. This is a Bright Life event, but it should be used to recruit. Friday, May 23rd, VIP party at the newest, fanciest, and what I've seen so far, best golf experience on the planet. They've taken Top Golf and they've 10x'd it. So our partners, World Vantage, they're one of the owners of Atomic Golf that literally just opened in Las Vegas. So on Friday, May 23rd, from 7:30 to 10:30, okay, we're going to be doing this VIP golf party. And the headquarters for the weekend is at Resorts World, which was until last year the most expensive hotel ever built in Las Vegas. Now the Fontainebleau, which is across the street. So this is the most expensive street and quadrant in all of Las Vegas. And so Atomic Golf is just up the street. It's about a block and a half north. And so this is going to be our headquarters for the weekend, Resorts World. They have 3 different hotels inside of Resorts World. And so Atomic Golf is first on Friday from 7:30 to 10:30. The tickets right now for early bird, so for the first 100 people that buy their tickets to each event, then you get a discounted early bird price, okay? So the attire is bright colors. It includes a buffet dinner. It includes a dessert. And it includes 3 hours of golf in any of the bays. You can do the putting bays. You can do the hitting bays. We have private putting areas reserved in our room. And we have half of their entire VIP experience reserved. And if we sell more, we could take the whole thing over. So it's $99 now, okay, for early bird for the first 100 people to purchase their tickets. And then the tickets go to $159, okay? But that includes all of your food and your dessert and your soft drinks, waters, teas, sodas. There will be a cash bar, but it includes all of your golf. Now, if you haven't been to Top Golf, 3 hours of Top Golf is about $150 to $200 a person. It's about $50 to $75 an hour to play Top Golf. Theirs is even more. So the 3 hours of golf and the putting and the bay access would cost you about $200 to $300 per person. And ours includes 3 hours of golf. You can play as much golf as you want. And it includes a buffet dinner. We're doing a Mexican food buffet, which is my favorite. So you're welcome for those of you that like Mexican food, and dessert. And it's $99 for 3 hours of golf and a VIP experience that you have never seen before. And I'm just telling you, I'm super stoked. I'm actually going to Vegas for the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. So I'm going to tour the facility and I'll do some filming and stuff, but the videos and photos are online. We're going to show some of these tomorrow on the corporate call. And then Saturday, the training is from that's incorrect. It's from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that is actually not accurate. So the training is from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. There will be a lunch break in the afternoon. And so please note the correct times are actually in the app. So that is not correct. The attire for the training is business casual. The early bird tickets are $99. The general admission after the first 100 will be $159. And if you want to be in the first 2 rows, those VIP tickets, there's a limited amount of those. I think it's only about 50 tickets or so, are $199. So most people are going to pay $159. All of you that buy your tickets now for $99 are getting early bird to Friday to Saturday. And then VIP is $199 for the first 2 rows. And so here are some pictures of Atomic Golf. There are some videos on their website. I encourage you to go check them out. And then Sunday is the pool party. We're doing a pool party takeover at IU Day Club, which is at Resorts World. This is one of the hottest pool parties in Las Vegas. $99. It includes admission to the pool party, also food and drinks, alcohol, and non-alcoholic beverages are included. It will be limited, so it's not open bar unlimited, but there will be food and drinks included in your admission. We have a private area that's reserved for our group, multiple cabanas and places to lay out and hang out. And then once those first 100 tickets are sold, it'll go up to $159. And just so you know, the normal cover charge to get into this pool is $100. So just to get in is $100. And now with us, you're getting food and drinks in a private area in the group for $99. And then there will be a price increase after the first 100 tickets. It'll go to $159. Now, here is what's crazy. Now, this is very, very important. So please listen to me. The Resorts World is running a New Year discount right now. But if you go shop on booking.com or you go to Travelocity, the rooms at their hotels inside of Resorts World are about double the price that you're going to see on the right side of the screen, because Resorts World is doing a 40% off New Year program, and that discount ends, I believe, in 2 weeks. It may be sooner. Okay, this is why this is critical. So because of their discounts and because our feed through the app is Hotel Direct, the prices that we have are off of their current discount. So as soon as this discount goes away, the prices are going to go up to probably closer to what you're going to see on the right. So inside of Resorts World, there are actually 3 hotels. The best hotel in Resorts World is Crockford's, okay? Crockford's is a very elite VIP luxury brand for Hilton. There's only a couple of these in the world. It's based on a London hotel concept. So these rooms have a butler. You can change out all your pillows, call your butler. The rooms are amazing. I've stayed there. I love this property. It's where I was staying until they opened Fontainebleau. The doors are these huge, massive black lacquer doors into the hotel room where you have a skeleton key or a fob to open your room. On booking.com right now, the rates are $1,000 a night Memorial Day weekend. It's $1,000 a night. Okay. Now, because of this 40% off that Resorts World is running for the next week or two, they just announced this. Our rates are discounted off of theirs. So at Crockford's right now on our app, this is wild, guys. This is so crazy. You can book today the 3 nights, Memorial Day weekend, which is their biggest weekend of the summer. The rates are expensive. You can go for $148 on Friday. You can go for $352 on Saturday and $111 on Sunday and have a butler and go to stay in my opinion, probably the best rooms in Vegas. Okay, so $700 to stay at Crockford's. So I'm telling you, you need to book these this weekend. You need to book these now. Make the commitment, talk to your spouse, talk to your teams, get everybody to book them now. If you go to Resorts World today, this same room is $1,600, and that's with the 40% off. So if you go to Booking and price Crockford's, it's $3,000, $1,000 a night. And you're going to go for $700 through the app. Now, Conrad is actually a ultra luxurious 5-star brand. Those of you that went to the Tulum Conrad, you know, their rates are about $800 to $900 on Booking. Okay, it's $1,300 on Resorts World, and our price is $716. Now, you don't have to stay Sunday night. The pool party is going to be over about 5 or 6 o'clock on Sunday. So you could check out on Sunday, catch a red eye or a late flight on Sunday night, and only pay for 2 nights. That's why I'm telling you this, okay? So go book Friday and Saturday. If you're going to stay on Sunday, great. It's a holiday on Monday, so you can drink and party and be hungover and fly home on Monday. or if you're on a budget and it's tight, you can just book Friday, Saturday, still go to the pool party, and then catch a red eye. And then they have the Hilton. So the Hilton is one step down from the Conrad. So it goes Crockford's, Conrad, Hilton. The Hilton is 900 on Resorts World with the 40% off. So this is normally about 500 to 600 a night. So this is $1,800 on booking.com right now. And you can go to the Hilton website and see, or the Resorts World website and see 900. And then you can go to the Bright Life app and pay $180 a night, pay $600 to go for 3 nights, which is what people are paying right now for Memorial Day weekend for 1 night on booking.com. So we're like 80% off Booking and Travelocity and Expedia, and we're 40% off their 40% off special. So 80% off. So why do I say that? Well, this is critical to tell your teams now, because if you want to have the biggest group in Vegas, you want them to have the best experience. You want them to be at the command center, ground zero for the Bright Life event. The conference is there. The pool party is there. Atomic Golf is only about a block and a half north, okay, right next to the Strat. And so Fontainebleau and Resorts World are across the street from each other, across from the Wynn and Encore, diagonal. And then literally a block and a half up to where the Strat is where Atomic Golf is. So this is the epicenter. This is where you want to be. And I'm just telling you, when this sale ends, the prices are going to double. They're still going to be less than everybody else, but they're going to double. So if those go away in a week, if it's 2 weeks, whatever it is, be prepared to pay double what it is right now. It'll still be about 50% less of what it is on Booking and Expedia. But I'm just telling you, if you want to be at ground zero, you want to be with the action, you want to be where we all are, I'm staying at Crockford. So that's what I've already booked it. So I'm just telling you, go book it this weekend, talk to your teams, talk to your spouses. The tickets are live. So the tickets are live in the app. Go book it and save. Buy all 3 tickets. Get your Atomic Golf ticket, get your training ticket, get your pool party ticket, lock your discount in. And Vegas is going to be epic. I mean, I'm just telling you, all of these other MLMs, all these other network marketing companies, direct sales companies, they're looking at us. They're trying to copy us. They're trying to copy our bucket list program. I'm not going to tell you any names, but we had a call over the last couple of weeks from one of our competitors that wants our tech. They were like, the first question was, can we borrow your tech? Can we white label your app? And I said, no, but you can merge with us. You could bring your company here. I'm just telling you guys, everybody wants what we have. That was a company owner who called me and said that. So I'm just telling you, everybody wants what we have. They're watching what we're doing. We are raising the bar for what is cool. This is not your mom and dad's or your grandma and grandpa's MLM. This is not what people think of with MLM. We are not an MLM. We are not a network marketing company. We are a technology company that is raising the bar on products and services and customer service and experience and lifestyle and entertainment. And we're not going to just be the biggest network marketing company. We're going to blow past Herbalife and Amway into the billions of revenue and be a big tech travel, lifestyle, entertainment, software company. And those of you that are here right now are going to be looking back a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now and laughing at these early days and experiences when we were already making waves, when we were already raising the bar and redefining the customer experience, redefining conventions and events and parties and trips. Everybody is going to want to be here. It's just a matter of when they decide to show up and eat crow and admit that they were wrong, we were right, and this is the deal. This is the only deal. And you're all here right now while we're talking about it. So take advantage of it. Those of you that are part of the mentorship challenge, make sure you get me your documents today on your weekly activities so I can go through those. And those of you that haven't participated, go to my YouTube channel, start at day 1, go through the videos, and get on tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, neteasymarketing.com. Get everybody on to the corporate call tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. It's going to be this official Vegas announcement. We're going to show some more photos and videos of Atomic Golf and really hype up Vegas. So call everybody, get them on the call tomorrow night, and go to the app today and buy your tickets for the training and for the events, for the parties, and make the commitment. Remember, this is a battle with your subconscious. This is a battle with your internal competitive self. Tell them that you're real. Tell them that you're going to make it happen. Make the commitment this weekend. And I can't wait to see all of you guys tomorrow night on our Zooms, see your guests on there. I'm going to be recording the new presentations with all the new slides. All the new slides, by the way, are on brightlifepresentation.com. The slides are already there, so you can go get all the new slides, brightlifepresentation.com, but all the new videos will be changed out tomorrow, and you'll have all of the new information. Thank you guys so much for getting on here today. Congrats again on the massive sales week, all the new ranks. We'll be recognizing all of these new rank promotions tomorrow night on the corporate call. So get your team on there so they can hear the buzz, they can see what's happening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great weekend, and God bless.